Hi, welcome back to a commentary channel. A few weeks ago, it became a metaphysical, spiritual channel, but tragically, nearly 3 days ago now, a 787 Dreamliner crashed. We've all seen the reports. Every one of us watches pilots try to explain what happened, and also engineers, and I'm no pilot, I'm no engineer, I'm no specialist. I have flown ultralights, but I wanted to explain it more simply, and I have a lot of questions. So, why would both engines fail on a modern jet? Normally, jet engines are very reliable. Planes can even fly for hours on just one. For both to lose power is extremely rare. Possible reasons for both engines losing thrust. Number 1, a fuel problem. If a blockage, leak, or wrong fuel mix happens, both engines get starved. For example, water or debris in fuel lines. Number 2, faulty computer data. Modern jets use computers to control fuel flow and power. Bad sensor data, like wrong airspeed or temperature, can trick both engines into reducing thrust. Number 3, electric failure. If a key power unit fails, it can shut down systems that control both engines. Number 4, a hidden maintenance issue. A design flaw or undetected fault that affects both engines at the same time. Number 5, pilot input error. Rare but possible. Wrong settings during takeoff can limit engine thrust. Now the big question, why did the pilots take off when they knew something was wrong? This is a really important question. In aviation, pilots are trained that once they reach a certain point on the runway, called V1 speed, they must commit to takeoff. Stopping after V1 is more dangerous because there may not be enough runway left to stop safely. Braking hard too late can cause the plane to skid off the runway. In this case, this tragedy, the plane used all the runway and then partially went into the dirt, so stopping was nearly impossible. The pilots likely thought the engines might recover once airborne, or they could circle back for an emergency landing. They did call Mayday on the runway, so they knew, but physics left them with no good options. Too fast to stop, too slow to lift easily. So the survivor heard a bang and flickering lights. So what does the bang and flickering lights mean? The survivor's story of a loud bang and flickering lights tells us a lot. The bang could mean an engine surge or a sudden mechanical failure. Flickering cabin lights means the plane's main electrical system was losing power. That's why the rat, the so-called emergency windmill, popped out to make sure basic controls stayed alive when main power died. So, basically, weak engines plus stuck landing gear plus a sudden system failure equals no power, no lift, no time. In simple words, both engines lost strength due to fuel or system problems. The landing gear stuck, adding drag. The pilots had to take off because stopping was impossible at that speed. A bang happened. Maybe an engine blew or a key system failed. The plane lost power and control, dropped and crashed. Final note. It's so rare, but even the best tech can fail unexpectedly. May everyone affected find peace. May we keep learning so skies stay safe. That's it, folks. This is my 4th video explaining. As I said, there are some really good YouTube channels to watch who know a lot more than me. One is Pilot Steve, and there's a few others. I am just trying to put it in simple terms and ask 2 basic questions. Why would both engines fail? And just sidetracking, I was once on a plane traveling from Townsville to Palm Island, and I looked outside the window and one of the engines was on fire. We were fine. The second important question on everyone's mind is if the pilots knew something was wrong, and they did because they said Mayday, why didn't they just stop from taking off? Why didn't they, pull back and just reduce power and just exit the runway? Because it was too late. Because they reached maximum speed for takeoff. If they kept going, disaster. They did what they could. Let's honor these brave pilots because they obviously fought and have been trained that if they took off, maybe they would be able to fix the problem in the sky. Maybe the engines would come back on. They're only pilots. They don't know. They're not engineers. All right, be kind to one another and each other. And I'm going to leave this alone now. The black box has come out. I'm sure that more able, better informed people will come up with the true cause of what happened. But this was not pilot error. The pilots did everything in their power to save that plane and everybody. Rest in peace. Thanks for watching. Bye.